Well, hello everybody and a warm welcome. So we're currently in the midst of two things. We've got our international quilting event running. If you're a lover of quilts, this is the place for you, because not only we've got a great competition that I'm going to mention in just a moment, but we're launching our brand new one-day special brought to you by the phenomenal Totally Patched, and we've got a collection of the most beautiful quilts. I'm just going to show you very quickly. So if you're not familiar, we are going to add prizes in every soft craft show. We're adding prizes to our, every quilting show, we're adding prizes to our bundle. And let me just show you here. This is the prize this hour. So you're getting the quilt pattern and 4.5 meters, that's weighty, of beautiful quilting cotton fabric. So you're getting that entered into the prize. So all you need to do is make a purchase during the live show. Your name could be chosen. We're going to pick one viewer whose name then goes into the big draw to win everything. And there it is. Look at that. So, I mean, that is a mighty bundle. Saying that value-wise, we're over £500. So it's a phenomenal event. We will be announcing the winner at 11:45, around 11:45-ish on Sunday. So you haven't got long to wait to find out if it's you. Okay, what we're going to do is have a little bit of a chat to Pat and Mark, who are joining me this hour. Pat, Mark, how are you?
We're very well, thank you.
Very good, thank you.
It's lovely to see you both. And my goodness, have we got a good one-day special?
We've tried really hard with this one. We wanted to give good variety, great price, and lots of choice.
Something for everyone.
Yeah.
You said it beautifully. And that is it, I have to say. When you talk about variety, so you've got 3 different choices of quilt. Look at the price. And we actually had to double check this. So we're having our meeting. I know we're speaking to you via Skype at the moment. But so Emily and myself and the team, we came in, we had the meeting before the show. And all of us looked at the price and took a double take. Because when you consider quilts, I mean, look at this quilt, for instance. That, for $48.99, is ridiculous. So it's your quilt topper, and you have got the flexi payments in there as well. I have to say, Pat, Mark, we were talking, and Emily, our producer, I'm not just saying she's producing this now, I think she's a very, very good producer. And the first thing she said to me was, this is going to be a busy show. And I tell you what, she's never wrong. She's never wrong. So we've got 3 very distinct styles here. I tell you what, should we start here with the vintage roses? Pat, Mark, whoever wants to speak, and let's discuss these, and we'll go through each one. So this is your vintage rose. It is beautiful.
Yeah, this is like a gorgeous vintage looking fabric. Mm-hmm. I've done the quilt, so it's a little bit different. We've got a centre on point to start with. Yeah. And then we've got some blocks around it, a little bit of applique. So just really interesting, and a really interesting border to do as well.
Lovely hearing you speak, Pat. And I tell you why I love you. When it comes to everyone's, I should have just ended it there. I'll tell you why I love you, Pat. Is because I genuinely, you've taught me a lot about sewing, and I really love working with both yourself and Mark. But I know whenever you bring us something, you're so conscious, you take so much joy on teaching the education side. You always try and teach us something different than the quilt. And there is so much going on. Just hearing you speak about the applique designs, the different block works going on, the layers of interest, there is so much we can learn just from a technical stance here.
It's a quilt that it teaches you as well when you're making it.
Yeah. And it's we haven't done a quilt like this before with a centre on point. It changes the look of a quilt completely. Mm-hmm. And then it makes it different the way you piece it together as well. And then we got to the end, and it just needed an interesting border as well. So it sort of just kept developing, didn't it, as we went along?
It started in the centre and just grew and grew, didn't it? So, yeah.
Lot of maths involved in this one.
Love that. All right, really busy for that option. So that's your first option. Second option here, it's bright and beautiful. That is the name, but it is bright and beautiful. Very modern, contemporary. That would look good in any home. Really like this one. And it's a real celebration of colour.
It would go, as you say, anywhere and for anybody.
Yeah.
It's male, female, someone going to uni if when they go back and that sort of thing, or just a young child maybe to pick a colour, find a yellow and that sort of thing.
What you both do incredibly well, and this isn't easy, is to source the right fabrics for the right, and we've discussed this in the past, for the right quilt. And something I know you can't appreciate at home, and I always describe as a presenter, I feel it's kind of my job to be your hands. But the quality of fabric, you always bring us beautiful fabrics. And I'm getting up close and seeing the different designs. It just works so well with this quilt.
Yes, they do. It's a woven fabric. It's really soft and gorgeous, but it's lovely to work with and it's lovely to quilt as well. And the black sashing around it, it's off center. It's the way you put it together, which we'll see during the course of the hours. The way you put it together will make it your own, apart from there are some rules, obviously, which I shall be butting in with.
Okay.
But you don't have any sashing to match or anything. It's a great quilt for somebody who's never made a quilt.
Three people could make a quilt, that particular quilt, and all of them would be different.
Nice. What? And that's the real joy of it. Bright, beautiful, we love it. It's busy. Everything is busy. We're going to go over to our final option for you. This is Inside Out. See, I love this too. And this is an example, Pat, of one of your quilts where, depending on the angle, whether you get up close or step back to see the design as a whole, you get a different interpretation. So it's nice. It's a very clever design, kind of like an optical illusion.
Yes, that's exactly what we wanted. It's a very simple block. It's just half square triangles, but it's the placement of the light and dark that gives you the overall shape. So that is another example. They're three totally different style quilts, but they really show you how patchwork can be very traditional, very contemporary, and very design based as well. So it's just another example, but very easy to make as well. That one is.
I love all three. Each one, each option, I think, has its own personality, and there is something for absolutely everyone on the show. Can we just take a moment to appreciate two things? The price is incredible. You're saving £15. You've got your flexi payment of £24.50. There is an option for anyone out there, and also if you do make a purchase in the show, and we knew this was going to be busy as a one-day special, you could potentially find your name in the draw for the big bundle for our international quilting event that we're running at the moment, and you could be walking away with a big prize as well. So it's just an added thing here. I've got to tell you as well, there's a finishing kit, and I think the prices on the show today are incredible. With the finishing kit, just going to pick this up, you've got beautiful wadding, and then you've also got your backing there as well. Now that is obviously designed to go with this bundle, the one-day special, so you're getting everything you need there. I mean, £30.99 is very, very good. You've got your calico backing, you've got your 80/20 wadding, which is always popular as well. 385841, your item number there. Now, if you just wanted to go for the patterns for these quilts, we can see what a talented designer Pat is. So maybe you've got a lot of fabric at home in your stash, and as sewers, I know it's easy to build up your stash, and you just want to go for these patterns. You're getting all three patterns in this booklet. One thing Pat and Mark do so well with their booklets is the explanation. So let me just show you here. I just start opening this up. But you have got that ring-bound booklet. So this isn't like a one-page pattern. You're getting pages and pages and pages of instructions on how to do it. I mean, considering you're getting three distinct patterns in there of this quality and the amount that you're learning, the different blocks, the different techniques, £25.99, saving £10 is a very, very good buy, and that's something you will keep and you will enjoy. So if you do want to pop that into your basket, £25.99 your price there, £239,415. Now, There are going to be lots of items actually throughout this one-day special, and what we're going to do each hour, we'll bring out some different focus just so you get a look at everything. If you do want to get ahead and see what we might be maybe showcasing tomorrow in our one-day special hours, you can always jump onto our website. Do have a little look on the website. Lots to enjoy there, so just having a little look myself. What tickles your fancy? We've got a lot. So you've got, we've got the totally patched throw-size log cabin quilt kit, $59.99. Oh, the mugs. Now the mugs are always busy, so don't miss out on our mugs. We also got cushion pads in there as well. That cushion pad will be handy with this cushion kit. So you're going to make this beautiful cushion cover. This is called Enjoy Today, and it is actually a nice cushion kit that works with our one-day special. So it works with the rose option in the one-day special, but also just as a cushion standing alone, there's a lot of lovely techniques that you get to enjoy. I mean, the actual fabric is lovely. Really nice fabric, nice design. You're getting your instructions, and you can see here, barring the actual cushion pad inside, you get everything that you need. And I've got to say, the unique selling point with Totally Patched is the fact that everything is pre-cut for you. Tell us a little bit about this, Pat.
This sort of just grew out of a bit of cuteness. I wanted a gorgeous cushion. We wanted to give, we don't do many one-day specials, in fact, very, very few. And we like the whole show to be as special as it can be every hour that we're on. And this cushion, I just think a little bit of embroidery and some squares of patchwork, very simple, but I absolutely love this cushion.
Nice. $22.99 your price if you do want to get hold of this. Very, very busy for this option. 377784. And you have been shopping ahead for that. Oh, what? We've only just started looking at 20% of the stock's gone. That's 20% of the stock that we had anticipated would last the full 24 hours for the one-day special. Now, Mark, this is a bag I could see you modelling quite handsomely.
Most certainly, I could take that when I go down to the post and post my letters and parcels, yes.
Yes, I love it. It's obviously complements the bright and beautiful quilt wonderfully, and everything pre-cut. I mean, a bag of this quality for $24.99, that's an exceptionally good price.
It's a price point that we want to make it available for everybody. Yeah.
You see, everything's pre-cut for you. I'll tell you why I say that, Mark, and this is an old story, but I remember my wife, going shopping with my wife, and she took me into a shop, and she picked up an ordinary kind of tote bag, and it was £30. It wasn't lined. It was very, very bland. I couldn't believe it, and I was saying to her, Hochanda, you get bags like this that are beautiful for, you know, something like $24.99. You cannot compare. And also you get the enjoyment of making it, which is why we're here as crafters.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, every person's bag will look different because, as I say again, all the squares will be in different places.
That's nice. And I like that. It's making it work for you. So you're getting all of your fabrics pre-cut, which you can see here. Look at all the wadding that you're getting as well. It's a nice bag, and it's a good, I like the size of the strap as well. We got to move on. So, and of course you're getting the pattern there as well. Pat, Mark, would it be okay if you get set up for your first demonstration? Is that okay?
Certainly, no problem.
Yeah.
Brilliant. We'll let you get set. As we do that, we're just going to show you our next item here. So this is nice. We have seen it before, but it was very popular, and we're proud to be able to offer it to you again. Here we've got your totally patched throw size log cabin quilt kit. It's 45 by 45. We have got the actual quilt, the finished quilt in the studio here. I mean, that is beautiful. 2 flexi payments of £30 if you do want to pop this into your basket. Lovely colorways. You can see earlier on when I discussed how well Pat and Mark pick fabric to suit a certain design, and this showcases that wonderfully. It's a really nice fabric, lovely design. It's engaging, it draws you in. I do like the color palette with that one as well. 2 flexi payments of £30, 451259. Now, I do believe that Pat and Mark are ready. Pat, what are you going to be showing us?
I thought we'd start with the vintage roses, and we'll do one of the blocks out of there to start with. Okay. So this is a twisted star block. which you can see. Can you see okay, Mark?
Yeah.
Everything okay? Right. You've got to do 4 of these in your quilt, and they all come pre-cut, as you've said, nicely in our bag, all our pieces. So I'm just going to do 1 of them. As always, take out the pieces and put them out in position as on the photograph. Then you can't go wrong. Just keep putting things back where you had them from. So that's exactly what I've done. I've laid out my pieces for 1 of the blocks in front of me. I've done a little bit of pre-sewing because we've got a lot to get through, as always. So these sections I've already joined together, but I'm going to show you how to do it here. They're 3 separate triangles. So what we do, exactly where you pick them up, fold them over like so, and we're going to stitch this seam here. It's important when you move it that you remember this is the seam, because once you've picked it up you might do this one. So just make it sure it's on the surface, whatever, and then fold it over like so, and we're going to stitch this seam here. And you line
Pat, I'm so sorry. I've got to interrupt you. I'm really sorry. You're gonna be very surprised by this, and you'll realise why I've had to interrupt you. So the vintage rose is technically sold out.
No way!
Ridiculous. You've actually broken records this hour. I mean, and I know how much stock we had. This is stock that was meant to last 24 hours. It sold out in 15 minutes. Now, we can bring it back on extended delivery, so we did already have contingency in place, but we thought this is something we might trigger tomorrow. We never thought we'd be saying this within 15 minutes. So technically sold out. It is back on extended delivery. You only have to wait a week. Worth it. At that price, it's worth it. But Pat, we better get demonstrating it because it might sell out again. It's really busy.
Okay. Wow, Mark's just fainted, so, you know, we'll carry on without him. Am I okay to carry on? Yeah?
Of course, of course.
Okie dokie. So we're going to stitch this seam, make sure they all line up. I can't get over that.
I think I just used the camera to get back up.
Just make sure all your edges are in line. You're going to stitch down this seam here. Cool. So 1/4 inch seam as per normal, and away we go. So just stitch a seam, don't pull it, let the machine do the work. Yeah. You just do the steering as per normal. And then open it out, and just going to press it towards the blue fabric in this case.
Yeah.
And press away from me. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah.
We can do that.
I want one of your monitors. I like to be able to see what you can see.
It's handy. We're going to set you up a little studio there.
Yeah, no room. So pop it back in place where you've had it from. Now we're going to join the large triangle to the 2 small triangles. Okay. So over it goes, like so. We're stitching across here.
Right, I've just got to tell everyone, Pat, I'm so sorry, but this is important because half the stock of the extended delivery has gone. It's absolutely, the vintage rose is flying. So it looks like it's going to go again, and you have been warned. And Pat, if it does sell out again, we might need to demo something else. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I'm fine. I'll just do this then. And
yeah, of course, yeah.
Maybe move on.
Right.
So I'm stitching this edge. What's important here is not to stretch this edge. These are bias edges. So no pulling it like this, none of that. Oh, no. Just stitch it nice and slowly, take your time, and then away we go to the end, let the machine do the work again. Nice. Then we're going to press it. We're going to press it towards the large triangle because you've got a seam here. You want to press away from the bulk.
Okay,
so,
good advice.
Same as always, like so.
Always away from the bulk.
From
Pat,
like that.
Did you, when you were getting ready and designing this one-day special, did you think in a million years we would have sold out of it in 15 minutes?
Honestly, no. No.
we couldn't choose which one was our favourite out of the 3.
Yeah. I mean, they're 3 lovely quilts. Yeah, and we are limited stock on the extended delivery for the vintage rose, so everyone, you have been warned.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
It's a beautiful quilt. Thank you.
As I said, one day specials don't come around that often for us, and we really put a lot of work into this one.
You can see it.
And as I made them, oh yeah, that's really nice. That's lovely. Then you get to the next one. Yeah, that one's lovely too. Yeah. And we honestly can't choose between them because they're all very different, but they've got their own characters. So there we go.
Pat, it's sold out again, I'm afraid. Vintage Rose has gone. It's sold out for a second time. So as it stands now, that option has gone. If any do bounce back, I will let you know. But Vintage Rose, very popular. We have got 2 other options. We're going to let Pat, can we let you reset, Pat? Is that okay?
Yeah. Okay. Reset. We're
going to do that. We're going to have to.
Okay.
This was taking us by surprise. We knew it was going to be busy. And if any do bounce back at the Vintage Rose, I will let you know. And all I will say is at the moment, we know that there are quite a few in baskets, which is absolutely fine. If you want it, please check out. I'm not trying to force you into that by any means, but if you do want it, please check out, because if it jumps out of your basket, I'm going to tell everyone, and then it's going to be fastest fingers first. So there is a good chance you will not be able to get it back into your basket. Not trying to scare you, but just saying how things are going to happen. Okay, so Vintage Rose as it stands now, you cannot get hold of that option. Bright and Beautiful then, we've still got 2 other options. Bright and Beautiful is such a lovely modern contemporary quilt. And what I like about this one, it is truly unisex. So, and also it's not governed by, I think it will go for any age category, as are all the quilts. But you know, certain quilts you think would suit certain people. But here with this quilt, it's a real catch-all, because you can, if you wanted to give this, say, to somebody in their 20s, they would enjoy it. If you wanted to give it to someone in their 80s, they would enjoy it. So it's just a really nice quilt that appeals to so many people, because what it does, it celebrates colour, and you've got a beautiful woven fabric that you're playing with. And what you can't appreciate at home is the actual feel of this quilt is stunning. But can we just take a moment to appreciate, and I think the team, we are shocked, but we're not shocked at how busy we've been. Let's just take a moment to appreciate the price. And it was a price when we were first, we call it prepping, when we're doing our prep for a show. So before each show, an hour before each show, the whole team come in and we kind of prep and we go through everything. We couldn't get over the price. I mean, $48.99 for quilts of this magnitude, this quality. Everything's pre-cut for you. I mean, imagine just the labor hours to cut all of that fabric. Everything is pre-cut for you. It is a beautiful fabric. So you cannot go wrong here for $48.99. And your first flexi payment today, and we send everything out to you, have a look at your first flexi payment, £24.50. For quilts of this quality is ridiculous. I think we're going to get back to Pat in just a moment. That's your Bright and Beautiful, and we've also got the inside out as well. So whichever option you want to go for. Fortunately, Vintage Rose is gone. I will tell you if any bounce back. We send none have bounced back. Don't let it bounce out. If you've got it in your basket, you're lucky. Do check out, and that's your inside out, which I think is such a beautiful quilt too. There are no bad options here. Whichever quilt you go for, you are going to absolutely love it. Okay, I think Pat has reset. So what we're going to take a look at now, Pat?
We're going to take a look at Inside Out, which I think is, I think they're all lovely.
They're all very nice. Yeah.
I'm not very often speechless, but
just a quick one, Yanis. The Bright and Beautiful is probably the easiest one to do.
Yeah. Out of the three quilts. That's not this one. We're inside out on this one.
Yeah, I'm just saying because he was talking about that.
Yeah. Right, so what we've got, when you open your kit, as you'll see on the counter there, there will be some dark triangles. There'll be some light squares, some dark squares the same size, and some just 8 smaller light squares. So really simple, really easy. And the idea of what we're doing is we're making a half square triangle, which we do all of the time, but it looks so different in different ways, however you use them. So the quilt behind me, which I think you can just see, can you, Mark? You don't need to go yet if you don't want to. Can you just see it a little?
No.
Can't see it at all.
Can we move up?
No. No. I'll show you what the basic skill you need to make this, and then you're away.
Okay.
Beautiful colours, lovely, bright, and just really, really, really nice.
They are lovely, lovely colours.
So what you do is you draw a line. Oh, I've got my ruler. That's my ruler. Sorry. I wasn't expecting to need things at this stage of the day. Right, we're going to draw a diagonal line across from corner to corner, point to point, like so. This is the most difficult job you've got to do for this quilt, so really good. You put it right sides together. Now you've got 8 light prints and 8 dark prints, is that right, Mark? And you just mix them up.
And this is what you're saying with this quilt, Pat, the effect is really drawn from playing with the light and dark. Yes,
exactly. It's just the light and dark, and you want to mix them up with, you're going to make 2 units every time you do this. So like next time, put your red with a different print, like some blue prints, some greens. So just mix them up as you go along, and you make all your units up first, and then you get to lay them out and play with the way you want them to be. And there's no right or wrong. They're very, this fabric's called shirtings, and it's like a little, it's a sort of cute name that quilters have for a fabric, and it means it's got little prints on, like, you know, like you'd have on a shirt, a little print rather than great big ones. So that's
small volume prints are known as shirtings.
Yes.
I'm learning. See, I said, every time I work with you, Pat, I learn something new.
Yeah, shirtings. And I just think they sound cute anyway, don't they? Shirtings, it sounds nice. So this is our, these are stuff fabrics, which we love, 100% cotton, designed in Denmark, made in Japan.
I mean, that's a good combination. Designed in Denmark, made in Japan. You know you're going to get beautiful fabric.
Yeah. And then we're going to do something beautiful with them, so it's a win-win, really, isn't it? So I'm stitching 1/4 inch either side of the drawn line.
Lovely.
Like so. So there's my line, and I've stitched 1/4 inch either side. You can't really see because I'm on a light on a light, which is pretty good.
We can see that. We can see that. Yeah.
Might put some purple threading next time. Then we're going to cut across that line.
Yeah.
And that gives you 2 units that look like that.
Oh, that's very pretty. And actually, really nice. That deep red against the sort of clarity of the lighter shade works so incredibly well.
It does. So that is the basic thing. So all I would have done that you haven't seen me do is cut it apart and press it towards the darkest fabric. So here, like the next one here is a green one, next one's a blue one, and you just work your way through your pile of fabrics until you've got 26, I think, I don't know.
So you cut on the line? You
cut on the line and then press. Once you've done that, you need, and you've got all of them, so you've got all of the ones that you need for your quilt. What you need to do is to lay them out. Now, in the pattern, as per normal, I've put little rows. So this is row 1, row 2, row 3, and row 4. And all you have to do, you're not trying to make it look like mine, you're trying to make it look just the light and dark.
Yes. And you see it. Pat, we've got it in the studio just to want to show everyone this sort of finished example, just to give the effect when you're seeing it at a distance. Now, I've got to tell you, with the inside-out quilt, half the stock's gone. We're not even halfway through the show. We've sold out the vintage rows. We've sold out the vintage rows twice. The extended delivery went there as well. Inside out, half the stock's gone. Busy for the bright and beautiful. It's just a busy show.
Day off tomorrow.
You're going to be busy. You're going to be busy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, what do we do?
So what would you like? Where should we go next? What would you like to show us next?
I'm going to show the bit on the bottom.
So I was showing you the rows.
Yeah.
Which there.
Right.
And I've got a row's worth of fabric here, and all you have to do is follow the light dark plan here, making your rows look like this. So and this is 4 rows. You do the 4 rows and then you do another 4, you turn them round and you put them on the bottom. That's exactly what you do. Now, if Mark, can we slowly go to the quilt and I'll just show you exactly where I am. Can you see that?
Oh, there you go, yeah.
Yeah, right. So what we've got here is 4 rows of the quilt. So this is half of the quilt.
Yeah.
And then we'll do exactly the same, not the same colours, mix up your colours.
Yeah.
And I've got my next row here now. And so I'm going on to this row again. I'm starting at 4, and these will go down here. And I'll follow my lights and darks. I can't see, I'm backwards and upside down here. That'll be going like that to there. And then my next row will go here. And all I'm doing is making sure my darks and lights are in the same place as the rows on the pattern.
Right.
Yeah, is that clear?
Yeah, very.
Right.
And you've got the picture on the box as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
To look at as well. Yeah.
Pictures everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm going to join my row, start joining my row now, and then we'll get the gist of what I'm doing, sort of thing. So pick them up. I've placed them out in front of me. And what I did, and I'll tell you my little tip in case you want to know. All right.
Yeah.
I put them together and I picked them up in a pile. So this was at the end of my row. I picked it up, put it onto the next one. I just put them like that, like if it was there, I go like this, and then I put a pin in the end that I know I've got to sew.
So that's good.
Yeah, because once you've got them into your positions, I don't do it all at once. I just do them a row at a time. But once you've got them like that, you've got to move them to your sewing machine.
Yeah.
So it's best just to pop a pin in, and then I know that I'm going to stitch this side always. So I'm going to pick this up, and I'm going to stitch that, put that onto there, and I'm going to join those together and go to my machine. I'm not going to move my squares now. They're in position, and I know I'm always going to sew this edge here.
Right.
Every time I pick them up.
That's a good tip, by the way, pinning that there, so you don't get lost.
Yeah, you have to it's really easy to twizzle them round, isn't it? Like, they go upside down and, what have you, and you don't want to do that. So there, I've done that one. This is where I am. This is my row, joining it on. And I just keep going all the way across my row.
This is a repetitive block, but just done in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a half square triangle, but it's just keeping your lights and darks like there. I know that I needed my V to go down there, which you can see. You can see them on the pattern.
Yes.
And then you don't even have to remember it, because I didn't. I just do it, turn it round, look at my row to get it how I want it to look. And if you end up with like too many reds together, just swap them over with another one. And I'm a bit random myself. I don't plan this sort of quilt very much. I'll put them all together and then go for it. And
it's a very satisfying. It's a very satisfying quilt to do, to see it come together.
Yeah, because it's so easy. It's you can see it's taking. Can you see me there?
Yeah, that looks good. Love it. Yeah.
So you can see it's already starting to take the shape of what I want it to do. So what happens when we come to here? I've got to make sure I'm doing it right. Is this end? No, it's this end. No, it's this end.
No.
No?
No. In the middle. That's in the middle. In the middle. That's it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
Can you see the edge is starting to come back down now, and the next row will do the same. And all I've done is a very, very, very basic thing. A half square triangle, and then just turn your blocks around and look at them. And when you're placing them out, if you're not sure, as you look at it, just squint at it, and it comes like if they're laying all out together, and because they're not joined together, they might look a little bit strange.
Yeah.
But if you just squint at it, it sort of brings it all together a little bit.
Well, that's interesting. Looking at the quilt as a whole, if I squint at it, then all of a sudden, the darks suddenly come to the foreground. So when you look at it and you give it a little squint, this is in the studio just doing it. It's a clever tip. It's one of those things you don't think it's going to be as effective until you do it, and you're like, wow, okay, that's dramatic.
It is, and it just lines it all up and makes it come together. So
beautiful, beautiful quilt. Pat, would you mind if we did a quick recap? Just get rid of some housekeeping. And then I was wondering, because we've had a few emails about the cushion, would we be able to see the cushion in action? Enjoy today?
Certainly can.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
we'll do
do
that.
it now.
Thank you so much. And thank you actually to everyone who's emailing in, enjoying the show. And that really is the benefit of being a live channel. We love hearing from you, studio@hochanda.com. Okay, so we've got 2 options remaining with the one-day special. Bright and beautiful, inside out. Those are your options. But when you consider all the fabric is being pre-cut for you. I mean, look at the inside out. The amount, I'm so sorry, Holly. I know you're setting up with the inside out. Sorry, bright and beautiful. But look at all of this fabric's being pre-cut for you already. So you don't have to worry about getting marred in cutting and measuring. Inside out, you are kidding. 2/3 of the stock of inside out. So it looks like there is a danger inside out could sell out this hour. We've already lost vintage rose. That's your inside out. We've also got bright and beautiful, which you're seeing here. There is no bad choice. You've got a third of the stock of bright and beautiful is gone. When you consider these 2 quilts, I mean, these are your choices. They are not bad choices. I love inside out. I love bright and beautiful. The only thing that would sway me is if I make it for myself or you make it for someone else, because maybe you think, well, bright and beautiful would suit somebody you're making it for, or again, inside out. They're both made with beautiful fabrics, and that's something, it's a given with Totally Patched. Everything's pre-cut for you, which is another signature of Totally Patched as well. What I would say, if you're going to invest the time and money into these beautiful quilts, you want to finish them properly, and we have got a finishing kit. With the finishing kit, you've got a beautiful, this wadding is incredible. The 80 by 20 wadding is stunning. So you're getting your 80 by 20 wadding. You're also getting your calico, and it is a very, very good calico backing. £30.99. If you were to put that in your basket with the one-day special, you can then split the price. So you can get a flexi payment across both, and it would mean, I think, your first flexi payment, we're going to update that and see, but it's very, very simple. So once it's on your basket, your finishing kit, and you've got your one-day special, we'll show you actually how easy it is. This is the website. Just click. You can obviously talk to our call center staff, and they'll do it for you. So suddenly that $13.99 comes down to $15.50 as your first flexi payment. Obviously, you are going to pay your remaining payment in 4 weeks' time. $43.95, but that includes your P&P. If you're already a Freedom member, it's £40. Today, for a quilt of this nature is incredible. So just something to consider. We're approaching 40% of the stock for the finishing kit. My goodness, we're busy. Now we're going to talk about patterns. So we sold out the vintage rose, but you can still get it in pattern form. And the good news is not only getting the vintage rose, which is here, but you're also getting your inside out and you're getting your bright and beautiful. So all 3, 80% of the stock has gone here. 80%. I mean, this is a record-breaking launch from an ODS for Totally Patched. I actually think it's the biggest show you've had, opening show, Pat and Mark, you've had for an ODS. We are very, very busy. So if you do want to get a hold of that, $25.99, your price there, $239,415. We were going to talk about the cushion, and we're going to see that in action now. I think Pat is set. Pat, how are we getting on?
Yeah, I'm ready, thank you.
Okay.
Well, just calm down and do this lovely calm cushion then now.
That's what we need, Pat. That's what we need.
Right, as always, you get your kit, everything in, pre-cut. Mm-hmm. All cut, ready to go, and beautiful. Now, there's 2 parts to this cushion. The one is the actual background to the stitchery, and then there's the stitchery.
Okay.
So I'm going to talk about both if I can. If I can't, I might do it later. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Right. Now, what I wanted to do, the stitchery is appliqued, just stitched onto the background. And we've got all this beautiful fabric, and I didn't want to cover it up with a piece of applique. So imagine this is my applique. I'm putting it here. I've got all this fabric underneath, all this space could have been these squares, and I just didn't want to hide them underneath the applique. So what we're doing is something a little bit different, is we're making rows of squares that are going to form a frame round this piece of calico, and then the applique will go on top, and you're not wasting beautiful fabric in the middle. So that's the plan, and the way it's going to go.
It's a good
so
plan.
it tells you on your pattern, you have I think you've got a few more squares than you really need, and you've got to make sets. So we've got to make two. Can you see this, Mark? Okay. 4 rows of 8. So this is 1, 2, and there'll be 2 at the bottom.
Okay.
So we need 4 rows of 8, and we need 8 rows of 2. So 2, 2, 2, 2.
Right.
Like that. And then what we're going to do, we're going to join these together. Okay. So I'm just going to show you. You can see why I'm doing this, so we're not wasting it in the middle, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You sure, Yanis?
Yeah. No, we could. I'm following.
I think you're in shock. I think we're all in shock. So when you put them together, when you join your rows together, press all your seams in one direction. So the top row is all pressed to my left, probably your right.
Okay.
And the next row is pressed to the opposite direction.
Yes.
So that when you put them together, they all nestle in. And you do the same with your all of them going down as well.
Okay.
So I stitch my 2 together, which is going to go here like that. And I'm going to press it. I always press as I go along because you always get a better seam finish. Yeah. So press my 2 away from me. Like
something you teach us is to press it, give it a good press, don't just iron it.
Correct. No ironing, pressing. Like that. So that goes back there. This one goes onto here. Nice. I'm picking it up, stitching it. One seam's going one way, one seam's going the other. And I'm going to stitch my row.
There's no set pattern for these squares. They are just completely random, whatever you pick up to put down and sew together.
Well, that's nice. That means that it's going to be an original cushion to you. I love the combination between the patchwork, the blocks that we've got as a border, and then your center sort of image with regard to enjoy today. And it's a nice message as well. I think this is words to live by. Enjoy today.
Yeah, that's where it's come from, really. We've all got to enjoy the day, and I think I've been wanting to do a cushion similar to this for a while. I've been thinking about it, but you always say to me, how do you choose what you're going to do? But this fabric just led it to a bit of stitchery in the middle. And I'm not a embroiderer by a long way, but a little bit of stitchery we can all do. It's just a bit of back stitch. It's not hard. It's like red work, but it's not something I often do. But I really enjoyed doing it, and I really enjoyed the look of the finished item. And what you can see, all I've done here is stitch 8 squares of fabric together. And just look how beautiful they look. And this is patchwork. This is proper, old-fashioned, traditional patchwork. Yeah. And it just looks amazing. Like, you don't always have to be, fancy-dancy and put in all the, little different things in. Something nice and simple. And you could use, once you've got your pattern, you could use all your scraps up doing this sort of thing, and just put a little message inside that's going to relate to who it's for. So now I'm going to stitch this 8 section onto our calico in the centre.
And this is the smaller piece of the calico you get.
Okay.
Yeah. You get 2 pieces of calico. Obviously, one's for the to go what Pat's doing now, and another piece is for...
One's for the stitchery.
Stitchery, yeah.
Got to tell
One's
you
for the stitchery.
that half
Sorry.
I was going to say half the stock of this kit cushion, the cushion kit rather, has gone. Half the stock. It is a beautiful, beautiful cushion. I mean, this to me, this is an heirloom cushion. And I don't say that for the sake of it. Genuinely, it is such a beautiful cushion. You can see that standing the test of time. Really like that. It's a feature cushion to have pride of place in any room.
Yeah, I mean, it's just lovely. It'll go in any room. And I didn't do like, you've got the complimentary things, like we've got the bag in the Bright and Beautiful. I didn't, you haven't got to walk around with your bag wearing your quilt, or you haven't got to hug your cushion with your quilt. It's just, they're just other items you can make, because things look... Mark's laughing at me now, there was such a lot.
I can just imagine Yanis with his bag and then the quilt over his shoulders.
Well, it's funny you say that, Mark. Got the bag right here. That is a swanky bag. I would happily rock... I would rock this bag. We will just flash the details if you do want to get hold of this bag. Obviously complements the Bright and Beautiful quilt wonderfully, but it is a beautiful, beautiful bag. You're getting all the wadding. You've got all the fabric there as well. I really like this. And I think another good example of something that is truly unisex. Everyone's going to enjoy it. I have to say, you've brought us such beautiful things this hour for the one-day special.
We have. We've really tried hard. We wanted it to be special, and it has been hard work, I've got to admit, and it just coming up with different ideas that suit the fabric. But you can see that sometimes you think, how can I use this? What shall I do? And it can look beautiful in a quilt that's bold and dramatic and contemporary, but it can look stunning as a quilt, as a bag. I think the pattern of the bag I've used before, and I usually wear the bags out, don't I, Mark? They're very handy size. You can get an A4 folder in, and they're a handy shape to just throw on. And as you noticed already, Yanis, the handle's great as well.
Yeah,
I don't like something that's going to dig in my shoulder.
I did pick up on that. You've got a nice wide strap, so it's going to fit comfortably around your shoulder as well. That's one of the things I did notice actually when we went to it. But you put a lot of attention into everything that you designed, Pat.
Well, I try my best. Right, so you can see how this will build up. So we just put another one here. We put our top and bottom, and then we go to our embroidery. Yeah. So if I stop this now, and then I can just talk you through the embroidery, so
Please do. Yeah, because
if people aren't sure, they can just see how simple it is.
Well, this is kind of best of both worlds, because you're going to get the enjoyment of building up your main sort of foundation of the cushion cover with beautiful piecing, but then you've got the enjoyment of going in with a bit of embroidery as well. And I've noticed that you've actually added embroidered detail. So I know we've got our center embroidered image here, but you've actually added a little bit of embroidered detail into the squares as well. It looks like is that like a sashiko stitch?
No, it's just a quilting stitch, but it is about the size of a sashiko stitch, Yanis. So you're...
I'll be honest,
correct.
Pat, I was just trying to impress you with my knowledge of the sashiko.
Well, it worked. You did a good job. But I've just done stitched across the edges, and just to link the two really. Yeah. So, can you still see me?
Yes, that's
great. Okay. So what you've got for your embroidery bit, you've got another piece of calico that's bigger than the one that goes in the middle of the quilt, and then you've got this piece of stabilizer. Now the stabilizer does what it says on the packet. Yeah. It stabilizes the fabric. So one side is a little bit bobbly, which makes it gluey, and you can So what you do first, you need to trace your design. So we've got a sheet with your design on, and you trace it off really roughly, and just use this as a guide. I mean, you can just, your leaves, your little buds can be bigger. You can put more on, whatever you want to do. Yeah. Put more around the outside. So it's just a guide. So you trace it off, and then there's two ways of doing it, and lots of people prefer to stick their stabilizer on now and do their stitching, but I don't. See, I'm always different, aren't I? I prefer to do my stitching and then press it and use the stabilizer then before I put it in the cushion. So I didn't use my stabilizer at the time, but you can if you want to.
Right.
So that's a personal preference. And it's just that I prefer to hold just the fabric than the stabilizer as well. Yeah. And if you are an embroiderer, you can put it in your embroidery hoop and do your normal stitchery that you put on it. But it literally is a back stitch, nothing else, nothing technical, nothing difficult. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to do it. So if I go, I'll just go, I better use my blue if I'm going to go around my cloud. So you'll have to make sure you can see me here.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we can see.
So I'm coming up from behind.
Right.
Onto my line. Now this is your cushion and these are your lines, and if you're not right on them, the world won't end, will it? No. Nobody will ever know. You go back and then you come forward. So as you can see, we've got a little gap between the thread and the needle. Yeah. So I've gone back and forward. Is that okay? Okay, yeah. And then we do our stitch. Don't pull it too tight. You don't want it to start pulling up. Just it needs to just sit on the top of the fabric.
You don't want to pucker.
No.
You definitely. No way.
Nobody likes the pucker.
You need to go in where your last stitch was, and then you go across, and you are filling in the line with a back stitch. Very, it's very relaxing to do this. It's very calming, beautiful. Yeah. And you just keep going all the way round, filling in. Go back to your stitch before in the same hole if you can, and then keep going across. And you see, I like to do things that are, you know, they're not too difficult. You know, we all want to have a go. We don't want to do something, you know, with like 27 embroidery stitches on. We'd be here all day. Yeah,
but it's so effective. You know what you're with the embroidery that we're doing on the cushion. It's beautifully effective. It's elegant. You don't need to overdo it.
No. And so you just keep going. You put your message on. You could even put a name underneath if you wanted to. And then green, some buds, some little knots, and your picture's done, as you can see.
Perfect. And I'll show you the finished quilt here. Pat, Mark, I'll let you flip the camera around so we can see you both and say goodbye properly. But what an hour. The brand new launch of our one-day special, been very busy. We've been focusing on the cushion, immensely busy for this. It is a beautiful, totally patched, enjoy the day, pre-cut, full cushion kit. You're getting everything you need, wadding, backing, feature fabric. The only thing you need to do is obviously put the cushion pad inside. But look at everything that you are getting for that price. Beautiful fabrics, as always. You get that pre-cut for you. 60% of the stock, that is 60% of the stock that is meant to last 24 hours. So very busy there. We have got Pat and Mark who've been joining us. There we go. Now, it's the question that viewers have been asking. You can be on, this is serious. This is an in-depth probing journalism here.
Okay.
Has Mark had a haircut?
Mark has had a haircut.
Who, and more importantly, did you do it, Pat? Rotary cutters?
I did it.
Very good. Very, very good.
Yeah.
Mark, very nice haircut. You should be proud. I mean, is there nothing that Pat can't do? Beautiful quilts. No. Cut your hair. You're never going to go back to the hairdressers.
He did look a bit worried, Janice, I'll tell you. You know, all those curls, I was cutting them all off, and there was a great big pile of hair, wasn't there, Mark? And he did look worried.
No, you've done a great job. Nothing to worry about. We did have an email in from Julie just saying that you both look so happy, and you are, and you also work beautifully together, and you really do. I think as a couple, you work wonderfully together, and I think Totally Patched, family-run business. Should we give your daughter a mention? Because obviously I know she's a big part of the business as well.
Yes. Yeah. She's actually come socially distanced working this week. The boys are back at school, so she has been come into work because we got a lot of cutting to do.
I can imagine. And You're going to have a lot more after this one-day special. That's all we're going to say. Thank you so much. I love working with you guys. I think I'm going to be working with you tomorrow at 4 o'clock for final calls, so I look forward to seeing you then. I don't know what we're going to have left because everything's absolutely flown out the door. Pat, Mark, thank you so much. You're going to be back at 8 o'clock with Paolo. I know you're going to have a great hour. Thank you for watching. Plenty more, though, coming up here at Hochanda.